Recording in progress.
Recording in progress, but we're 2 minutes behind. We're not 2 minutes behind. We actually started on time. I just didn't start the recording. I don't know why it's so important for me to let you know that the show that no one is attending was started on time, but it was because I was working by myself and I like to run on time. It's these other people that have caused Show Off Show to be late 195 times. But I have a hope that with the new management, which is me, I was the old management too, but now I'm really by myself. Uh, so I have high hopes, uh, which is what we're going to do. We are currently on Facebook, and we are currently in the Show Off Show group page as well as my page. But I'm going to go over right now and share this to another group, which is uh, Charlotte Leboff's Sing Out, because you should sing out. Sing out, Louise. So we're going to do that because maybe somebody in the larger world that is beyond Highland Park or Los Angeles, or maybe there's somebody in I don't know, Indiana that might like me, or uh, oh, I don't know. Really, is there anything beyond Indiana? I don't think so. Hello, who's in Los Angeles area? Gay men others. Well, Craig Kramer, member of Gay Men 60 and Better, says, hello, who's in the Los Angeles area? I am. He probably doesn't want to hear from a show queen in the middle of a show that no one's attending for a first date. But I can think of worse first dates, and in fact, I could tell you I've been on them. So let's see. So we invited people. Oh, before I forget, not that it really matters because there's nobody watching or attending. Pamela Clay's birthday is coming up. I want to go to the Gardenia. I really do. But I'm not sure that I have the money. It's a real dicey situation on whether I work in the next couple of days. And if I do, it means I can go. And if I don't, then it means I can't, because I don't want to find out what it's like when Nicole Rice brings me my check and I don't have any money. I don't think it's going to go well, but I have always wanted to see their kitchen, so maybe they'll let me do dishes. I don't know. Pamela, I would love to go. I'm going to try to go because you're very important to me, but there is a distinct possibility that I will not be able to go. So I will. So we'll see what happens. So if anybody needs a massage between now and Thursday, you should really give me a call. So we are now in Sing Out, and where else can we put our fabulous video? So let's go back to our real video, which is there. Well, it's only 8:05. This meeting is being live streamed. I know, and it's not like and you know, I sent stuff out really late this week, like really late. And it's not that I don't care. I do. It's I was completely thrown off my game by the shenanigans that were surrounding. Oh, I have somebody's watching. I don't know who it is, but hello, whoever you are. By the shenanigans that surrounded the Young Frankenstein concert, there, it just really threw me off my game, and I was in the middle of getting back on my horse when it threw me again, and now I just don't know what to do sometimes. But it's not like I have anything better to do on Monday night. I don't. You would think sometime in the past 4 years, hosting a show, that I would have made I don't know, one friend. But no, that's just not how it works with me, I guess. So anyway, let's take a look until anybody gets here. Let's take a look at participants. Return to meeting. Okay, and I want to put the participants like right up here so I can see if anybody shows up, which I don't think they're going to. But that's okay. Oh my God, someone's here. Who's here? Oh, Rob is here. Well, then we have to. But we should admit Rob. Uh, we should admit Rob, since since there's nothing else going on. So let's do that. Hello, Rob. We're recording. Original sound from musicians is on. Hello, Rob. Hello, Shona. I see you in back there with your cute little ear warmer, I guess. I don't know. Um, you're muted, Rob, but that might be for the best. I don't know.
He says hello.
Hello. Well, I think it might be just you and me, buddy. So we could finally do that interview that I've been wanting to conduct with you for oh so long. I want to tell you that I went to the Lyric Hyperion today.
Shona said something.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I'm getting an echo because you don't have a headset on.
I don't. Should I?
Yes.
Can I just plug something into the headphone jack and it would accomplish the same?
Yes.
That's a very clear answer. Let me see. We have some time since no one is here. So I went to the Lyric Hyperion today.
How was that?
It was okay. It wasn't traumatic. They didn't get together and block me from entering the door, so that's nice. Bill doesn't acknowledge me at all.
Are you going to give
really.
me the bowl?
What now? What?
I can't go behind.
Like he never acknowledges me either here or in public. So it's sort of like being invisible and being shunned by the people that I live with, and that's hurtful. But I've gotten used to it. I just don't know.
You think he's looking? Okay.
Say again? Anyway,
in AA, usually these situations require an amendment.
That required an event. I don't know what that means, Rob.
I have a feeling. Hold on a second. Let me get to the song.
I have a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Where did my earphones go? I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. If I could find that audio. That tonight's gonna be a good night. All right. Okay. Well, I wish I would have known about the audio cord thing before now. Because I don't know where it went.
You don't have wireless.
I do have a pair of wireless headphones somewhere, but Well, this is gonna has the potential of driving me completely crazy, and
Where,
so I'm not doing it. I can't find it, and and nobody's here anyway, so I'm sorry. I really wish I would have known. I will correct it when I can, but it won't be for this show.
well,
So
we can do what they do in the military.
what is that?
When you stop talking, you turn off your microphone.
Oh, like the Roger and Over.
Exactly.
Well, Rob, since you're here, let's go back to the Zoom room. Okay, so your birthday, for anybody who is watching this or seeing this on Facebook, you have a birthday coming up, Rob.
Let me personally, when I see the people.
Okay, so so Rob doesn't have a birthday, so
No, I have a birthday.
anything that you might have heard just before now was not accurate, and I'm going to ask that it be stricken from the record, from the official record. And
I'm 40.
and I think if we all agree, it's like an annulment, and it never happened. That's what's great about the Catholic faith, more so than any other faith. You have the ability to erase history when you're Catholic. That's how strong the level of denial is in the Catholic faith, because you can, under the right circumstances, deny that you were ever married at all. Now, despite the fact that you had a wedding and you invited people, and probably a lot of people because it's a wedding, and your family and your friends and everybody there, and they all got together and they bought you presents. That's the thing. They bought you presents for your wedding, and then I guess it didn't work out because you found out that your boyfriend is actually gay, and but was just marrying you because he needed a beard or a green card or a fabulous party that can be thrown. What something might have happened where you need to like get out of that marriage fast. In the Catholic faith, this is where they come in. They say it never happened. That's what they do. It never happened. And if we all agree that it never happened, it never happened. And that's called an annulment. You have been annulled.
I was annulled. My first marriage was annulled.
How many people came to that wedding that never happened?
Oh no, it wasn't that the wedding never happened. The fib was we never consummated the wedding.
You never consummated. So on your wedding night, you did something else besides consummate. At the time,
That was the contention in the annulment from the Dominican Republic.
So, did you consummate the marriage?
I consummated a lot.
Did you consummate the marriage with the person that you married? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you consummate the marriage before you took your vows?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so, but now you're going to deny that you ever consummated at all, right? So you have
My ex-wife wanted to leave, and I realized that we were too different. So I said, whatever you want. So she went to the Dominican Republic, got the annulment, I signed it, we were annulled.
See, how complicated was that, by the way?
It wasn't complicated at all. She went to the Dominican Republic, she brought it back, I signed it, she brought it there, and the wedding was done.
And how long were you married before you reached the decision to annul? How long was that?
Well, I think it happened because I was too honest about my fantasies.
Too honest about your fantasies. Would you care to elaborate, Rob? Because there's no one watching, and
Yeah, of course, there's millions of watching.
uh,
Yeah, no, but the point is, men should know better than to think that women want more than romance.
and what has your experience taught you?
My experience has taught me women want to be loved. If you have somebody that's not neurotic or bipolar,
Are you saying that neurotic, bipolar people are not?
they're hot.
Thank you. I mean, I've heard. So,
Did you ever see that video about the hot crazy curve?
no, I have not seen the
You
video
haven't seen that?
about the hot crazy. Are they? Are they?
There's a guy who has a chart, talks about the more crazy a woman is, the hotter she is.
Have you found that to be true?
How can I put this? There is some correlation in reckless abandon.
Okay.
Um,
Is
if-
reckless abandon hot by nature?
you know, it depends. You know, sometimes a person can think they're in love and continue to want to make love to somebody because they're in love with them. But perhaps they don't know the person's values and they're projecting who the person is as an ideal person. Same thing goes for the physical gratification. And of course, we're animals in part. And if you're just feeling and smelling and touching, and you're not thinking about any responsibility or the person's feelings other than the tactile feeling,
So let's
then you
get
can
back to
focus on the fact.
So let's get back to this too hot for marriage fantasy life that you decided to share with your newlywed bride, probably on your wedding night.
No. I was in that phase of my life when I was 20. I thought I was really philosophical and figured
So
if
your
I
fantasy would take place in a library, probably.
no. The fantasy was that my wife wanted to hear everything I was thinking. People don't want to hear everything you're thinking.
No, they don't. As though your wife was some sort of psychic.
No, I would tell her what was on my mind.
I know, but then she could pretend she was psychic and then would know, or you just decided randomly that your thoughts were so interesting that they needed to be shared.
Let's just say I was delusional about what relationships were.
You're 20. You're 20. You're 20. You don't know anything. You're 20.
I thought I was um, one with the universe.
At 20 years old, so that would have been what?
And truth will set you free. It set me free.
If you can hear it. So you were 20 years old, and what year was this?
1971.
1971. You know, not like anything is going crazy right about then. But you decided, so you were 20 in 1971, so from age 15 to age 20, you went through 1966 to 1971, which is basically where the entire world changed. And you got through that and decided you know everything.
Well, I knew what I knew. I knew that sports was not interesting to me. I knew philosophy.
Did you ever play any sports in school?
No.
At all?
I did gymnastics, but not team sport.
How old were you?
I did theater.
Well, that's a sport. But how old were you when you did gymnastics?
16.
16. All right. So, and what could you do on the floor?
I did high bar. I used to swing up and kick up on the high bar, swing around. I did the parallel bar. I could go up in an L on the rope, 20 feet.
Could you do back handspring?
I wasn't much into that gymnastics.
Not that part of gymnastics.
Well, I was in.
You liked the part of gymnastics that had a tool, like a high bar or a horse or a...
Yeah, something. My arms were very strong. My stomach was very strong. I was light, like you.
Oh, well, thank you. It's really your core that has everything to do with gymnastics. I didn't start gymnastics until I was an adult. I was in my late 20s, and I only started doing gymnastics at Chelsea Piers because I was not being hired as a dancer because I suck. And I would make it through the singing audition, and they would say, "Oh, very nice. Please come back and dance for us." And then I'd go back and dance, and I would be terrible, and I would not be hired. And I knew it was too late for me to catch up, with everybody else's dance technique. So I came up with this brilliant idea that if I could do gymnastics, like if I could do a double back handspring back flip, they would forgive my terrible dancing and hire me.
Did that work out?
It did. It worked exactly as planned. It was brilliant. It was only because I could do a double back handspring and back flip that I got hired for Joseph. I'd been Joseph before, but this particular Joseph is how I got my equity card. And they were not going to hire me at first because the director, I just told this story the other day, the director shredded me at my audition. So after I finished my audition, he says, "Everybody needs a guardian angel, and today I'm going to be your guardian angel. Here are the reasons you will never, ever work in this industry at all. Let's start at the top." And he, everything, the hair, the walk, how you entered the room, how you handled everything was wrong. And he finished this whole shredding by saying, and finally, you're not a leading man, and you never will be. You're short, you're funny looking, you are at best a comedy sidekick, but you're not a leading man. But more importantly, you're not a leading lady. Stop singing their songs! And because I was doing like a Liza something. And he said, go learn 5 funny songs and I will see you again and maybe it will go better. So I did. I went and I learned 5 funny songs, and somebody had to cancel that they hired for Joseph, and it was only because on my resume I had a high C, because I could sing a high C, and back handspring, and they needed somebody who could do both. And,
Wow.
that's how I got my equity card, and that's how and once you get your equity card, then you're allowed to go to equity auditions.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I never got my equity card. I was an extra. But you don't have to have an equity card to be an extra.
No, you don't. There are all sorts of, and I don't know how it works in Los Angeles at all. I don't think I'm still active in equity. I have no idea. I haven't bothered to look at it in years. I've changed my name several times since, so I don't think I owe them any money. I'll be happy if I don't owe them any money. But
It's interesting. Following up on theater, you can be somebody else. So if you're an actor, you can be somebody else, and if you don't particularly care for yourself, and you think you have to be somebody else to be attractive, you can act the way you think a prospective partner wants, as opposed to being who you are. And women are expert in it because they're taught how to be lady. I've never heard anybody say to a man, "Oh, don't do that." Women will not think that you are strong and a good partner.
give me an example of when you would hear that. Like after you had just done blank, someone might say that.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is the reason I was looking, I guess, for people who would be wanting to do the things I wanted to do, which is a typical male thing. But it never occurred to me that the women that I was with were looking to be a partner. That by their being nice and doing what I wanted, that I would want to do what they wanted to do. It never occurred to me, and it doesn't occur to many men. So
it does not.
There's no, so there's no reason, no surprise why there's so many divorces. Because the man gets married because he thinks the woman wants to do what he wants to do, and and the woman likes what he likes. But it never occurs to him that the woman is hoping and looking for the man to want to share and do the things that she wants.
I think that's in general with people, but men in particular are terrible. If something does not exist within your bubble, You know, if you have never experienced a particular thing, or you have never been in a particular situation, you have no, or one has no reference point to it. So I go through this all the time with somebody I know, and I'm often faced with a choice, which is either to pop the bubble with the truth, or just let it go. I'll give you an example. So often, because we live in the world that we live in, and we are finding out that many of our heroes, or many of our icons, or many of the establishments or businesses or whatever, it turns out that their background isn't always squeaky clean. It's entirely possible that your favorite rock star was abusive to his spouse, or it's entirely possible that your favorite chef called somebody a dirty name, and then we find out that they're not perfect, and because of this, but not everybody always gets the news that something isn't perfect, that a company could be corrupt, that a long established practice could in fact be dangerous, because they've never experienced it. So often I'm faced with the choice: should I let the person in on the truth of the matter, or should I just nod my head and go, they're great, you know? And more often than not, I have found that I just nod my head and say, oh, no, they're great, because they are great, as far as they know. And because I'm continuously put in the position of being the bubble popper. And I don't want to be the bubble popper. I don't want to pop your little bubble of reality and introduce you to an entire world that you knew nothing about, just to explain to you how you're wrong on a particular point. Why?
What for?
Yeah, why? Why? You're just
People are not interested. They're not interested in the truth. They're interested in feeling comfortable.
Very much so. And
I don't know if when you went to high school, if in your health classes they taught you how to shave, shave down, how to shave up, or whatever. The bodily cleanliness, and the women they teach sewing. This shows you how old I am.
I took sewing. I used my sewing machine this morning.
So what I was hoping was in the future, that there would be some courses that would talk at some point about integrity, relationship, and real people, as opposed to characters in movies, because that seems to be the only point of departure young people have for relationships, or their parents, which that's hit and miss right there.
Yeah, if we, I don't recall that at least in high school, I had ever had a course that touched on that. I did very much in college have courses like that. The entire last year of where I went to school, the entire last year was coordinated among all the professors, no matter whether you had them or not, because the last year they very much they said this over and over. They wanted to teach you how to see the world with critical eyes, to be able to see the world critically, and it was very important. So we had all these experiences and literature and
what school is this?
Simpson. It's a very famous for music it's where the Des Moines Metropolitan Opera is, and I got an opera scholarship because I don't know. But anyway, the entire last year is about thinking critically, no matter what field you're in, no matter what major, and it's about having integrity, and it's about a realistic assessment of your size in the universe. So, and I'm very happy I had those courses. Some which I never would have taken, but I had to, so I did. Anyway, so I think critically, and Germans like that. Kritische Augen. Sie müssen sehen mit kritische Augen.
Yeah. Well, I have a different philosophy. My philosophy is life will teach people everything they need to know. They don't need to know it from me. That's taking me a long time to learn.
I can see why you don't need to teach the world, but don't walk around assuming that everybody's going to learn what they need to know from life experience, because that's not true.
Well, it may not be true.
But they don't need to learn it from you.
Hear it from me.
Because you're an expert at one thing, which is what? Like, there are things that you can teach. I know this.
Oh, I know a lot of physics. And some of them. So I can talk about the model and the way engineers work. But most people, you talk that stuff in half a minute, they're like snoring.
Unless they're
engineers.
Or nerds like me. I will watch all of that. Often I do, because I find the laws of physics to be very comforting. I do. I take great solace in them, and it's exactly opposite of what I do. You know, that's why I like it. It's opposite of my day-to-day operations. To hear people discuss quantum entanglement, or to hear them go into detail about the coming quantum computers and how they actually work, or or artificial intelligence, or all of these things. They fascinate me, and it's like I think it's how other people listen to music, you know. But I do music all the time, so I don't always listen to it to relax. I don't. It's not so much a hobby as a vocation. But math or science, and the more difficult, the better. You know, because I can get lost in it. I can get lost in quantum mechanics forever because I will never understand it, and I'm not supposed to. And
well, now quantum mechanics is pretty easy.
If you make friends with the idea that it doesn't make sense and that you will never understand it, it makes perfect sense.
Well, you're talking about one aspect, but the central aspect of quantum physics is that energy and time and space is granular. It
can be quantumized, yeah.
It's has a minimum energy and minimum time and a minimum space.
Yeah, well, that's
not like the continuous stuff.
Well, it kind of falls apart when you get to gravity, though, because we haven't figured out a way to quantize gravity. As soon as we figure that out, as soon as we can, but we can't, and it's a force, and it's one of the four forces. You know, that it's not the strongest one, but
well, Einstein had a different perspective.
Because he wanted the universe to be orderly and nice, and he wanted everything to behave itself, and everything should be in the right. And then to hear about all this chaos and unpredictability, uh, it offended him. It offended him.
Yeah, well, if, how can I explain it?
He wanted.
If somebody gives you, if somebody gives you, takes a coin and cuts it in half with a jeweler's saw, uh, and then you shake up the two halves of the coin, and somebody picks one of them, puts it in a box, and flies it to the other end of the universe, and you have the other half. It's probably 50-50 that you have one piece or the other piece, and you won't know which piece you have until the other person at the other end of the universe looks at that half. They'll instantaneously know what the other half was.
So you're talking about quantum entanglement. That you're doing a very nice example of quantum entanglement. And if we know one is positive, then the other has to be negative. And the question is, can that information, that data of confirming whether you're a positive or a negative, based on opening your box, can that data travel faster than the speed of light? And that's the question. Can it?
Well, that's the point.
I know.
The point is the guy on the other end of the universe already knows what the other piece is in the box. The question is, does the guy who's holding the box know what it is? So there's an objective reality, but not necessarily the knowledge of the reality.
They're already using quantum entanglement and making predictions. There are ways of using it to for complicated.
Are you talking about the processing?
I'm saying that I know that we're already using quantum entanglement to help predict particular events, particularly ones that require, like, if you have to decipher, decode a particular.
That's they're not using quantum. No, what they're saying is Shor's algorithm shows that if you're looking for the factors of a large number, that's one way of encoding information. So if you had, with a regular computer, it's going to take 250 years to figure out the factor. That means what numbers you multiply in order to get this huge number. Then they can't undo the encryption. But with the hope is that at some point, if you have hundreds or thousands of quantum bits, that they will depopulate themselves with a certain probability, and the probability will give you the solution, all the solution.
At once. You can consider all solutions at once and then find the most efficient way.
Well, you can find out what the solutions and the factors are, and potentially be able to decode something quickly. But we're not nowhere near it. We've got theories that.
How do you feel about the coming AI? Have you interacted with GPT? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the coming AI revolution as a man of science?
I'm involved with that.
Okay.
So I can tell you, if you give it a dog, a piece of somebody's shirt, and you've trained them to find the scent, after you give them the shirt, you say, go, and they go off across the mountain. You don't have to tell them where to jump over the log, or if they have to go to the bathroom, where to pee. They have a mission. Now, some dogs are smarter than others. Like my son's dog tried to jump over a fence, and they missed, and then they got cut almost in half. So if you send a pack of dogs, and they all are trained, you don't have to train them to go to the bathroom, or to train them to go around an obstacle. And that's what artificial intelligence is. You train an animal just like you train an animal. But I wouldn't let my dog drive my car. I wouldn't let a chimpanzee drive my car. I might let it.
Not even a genetically modified chimpanzee?
No.
No.
I wouldn't. Anything that requires a responsible decision requires years of experience. Now, I've said for the past 10 years, if you really want artificial intelligence, just like, the chimpanzee Coco, they trained it to communicate with sign language. And they'd sign, and it knew, and it had its own room, and they communicated with it. And one day they came back, they saw in the bathroom that the sink was ripped off the wall. And Coco had a pet cat. And so they signed to Coco. They said, Coco, what happened? Who ripped the sink off the wall? And Coco said, the cat. There's a lot more going on in animals. I had a dog that ripped up my first wife, fiance shoes when we were out.
Oh, someone's here.
And we didn't know.
Larry Davis.
Sure.
Larry Davis is here. Admit. Okay. Yeah, it's Larry Davis.
Hey.
Hello, Larry Davis. You're muted, my friend.
Sorry, I've been running around too much.
You're gonna need to turn off your speaker, Trip. There we go. Larry, you can talk now. Trip has his he doesn't have earphones on, and his computer is echoing if he's got his voice on. So we have to. How are you, Larry?
My computer's
Not yours.
Oh,
Trips.
hello. Look
So I
who's
have to like mute when I'm not actually talking because
Look.
otherwise it's very
Oh, look at
Excellent.
you. You look great.
me.
Ooh.
Oh well. I went to the Lyric Hyperion today.
I tried to get there.
Uh, it's
Traffic
cute.
Terrible.
It's cute. It was fine. I sang. It was good. It wasn't terrible.
I got all the way to the door and realized I didn't have my wallet or cell phone or anything. So I turned around.
How do you leave the
never
house
did
without
the
your
car.
wallet?
Oh, I forget my head.
I do it. I do it all the time.
We have a.
With age,
It's a.
but with
See,
Well,
I have
I
a.
remembered that I changed clothes to get there.
So I have to have everything chained on me so I don't lose it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because I'm worse. But my keys are chained on me and my wallet is chained on me. I have a pair of mittens, that have a little string that hold them to my. No, I don't.
Yay.
Well, Larry Davis, I don't think anybody's actually gonna show up beyond us, honestly. But I was very late in getting the word out, and I'm not unmotivated, but I'm terribly distracted, and so
I was going to sing a song,
you should.
but we got into quantum physics.
Because I'm a master interviewer. That's what you need to share with the people watching. 53 minutes we've been chit-chatting just about the fascinating life of Rob Sterble.
And Trip
Oh, yeah.
Kennedy.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Look how great he is. Look how great he looks. And look how great you look, Trevor. You look great.
Well, why don't we sing a couple of songs? I'll tell you what I'm going to do because I have this theory that just because no one's here doesn't mean that we shouldn't do a show, at least a little bit. So I sang at the Lyric, but I wanted to sing this because I was thinking of doing it, and because I haven't been to the Lyric Hyperion in 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. You have to look at your best stuff, like your showstopper stuff. They haven't seen me in a while. What should I sing? And I thought I was going to do this version of a Sondheim song, which I did not do, but I was so close to doing it. So I'm going to do it for you guys just because I liked the track so much. The track was just great. So I'm going to go into my YouTube, and then I'm going to go into history, and let's see. Oh, here we go. And just before it does that, okay, stop it. Okay. And then we're going to put it on original sound for musicians is on, because if that's not on, it will be terrible. And so let's pretend you haven't heard from me in 4 years, and then I would come back and I would sing this. Well, what do you get, really? That's the thing. What do you get? What do you get? Someone to hold you too close. Someone to hurt you too deep. Someone to sit in your chair and ruin your sleep.
That's true, but there's more than that.
Is that all you think there is to it?
You've got so many reasons for not being with someone, but Robert, you haven't got one good reason for being alone.
Come on, you're onto something, Bobby.
You're onto something.
Someone to need you too much. Someone to know you too well. Someone to pull you up short and put you through hell.
You're not a kid anymore, Robert. I don't think you'll ever be a kid again, kiddo.
Hey, buddy, don't be afraid it won't be perfect. The only thing to be afraid of, really, is that it won't be.
Don't stop now. Keep going.
Someone you have to let in. Someone whose feelings you spare. Someone who, like it or not, will want you to share a little, a lot.
What does all that mean?
Robert, how do you know so much about it when you've never been there? It's much better living it than looking at it, Robert. Add 'em up, Bobby. Add 'em up.
Someone to crowd you with love. Someone to force you to care. Someone to make you come through, who'll always be there, as frightened as you of being alive. Being alive. Being alive. Being alive.
Blow out the candles, Robert, and make a wish. Want something. Want something.
Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mock me with praise. Let me be used. Vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crown me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody make me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you of being alive. Being alive. Being alive. Being alive. Da-dum-dum.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yay!
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh, yay!
Favorite
So
song. He's my
next up
favorite.
on our hit parade will be Mr. Rob Sturble. So we're going to add the spotlight. Hello, Rob. Sing one song for us now that you've filled us in on the dangers of the universe.
Well, I was talking about artificial intelligence. Don't let your dog drive your car.
Thank you for that. So anybody out there in Facebook land, I want you to listen to those words of wisdom. Do not let your car be driven by your dog.
It's the same thing as AI.
It's the same
No.
thing as, according to Rob Sturble, same
Yeah.
thing as AI.
Don't trust. Don't trust AI unless it has an entire lifetime of experience to
We'll talk more about.
extrapolate when something wrong goes on that human beings have a hard time figuring out. The AI is not going to be able to figure it out.
Well, we will talk more about machine learning later on, but right now, I bet you have a song to sing.
I do.
Well, let's, because I don't know a machine that can sing a song yet. But
Oh, I'm sure they can. I can
Well-
tell that. That's easy.
you're not
Here,
helping
let-
my flawless segue.
Oh, sorry.
Sing for us, Rob. I'll shut up.
Okay. I did this at Stony Point the other night. We missed you, Larry. It was fun. Let's see. I was trying new songs. So this was one of the new songs. It's not a new song, but it was new for me. It's like this. Love is lovelier the second time around, just as wonderful with both feet on the ground. It's the second time you hear your love song sung. It makes you think, perhaps, that love, like youth, is wasted on the young. Love's more comfortable the second time you fall, like a friendly home the second time you call. Who can say what led us to this miracle we found? There are those who'll bet love comes but once, and yet I'm oh so glad we met the second time around. I'll do the break. Da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da dun, da 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 dum, da 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 dun, da dum, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Love's more comfortable the second time you fall, like a friendly home the second time you call. Who can say what led us to this miracle we found? There are those who bet love comes but once, and yet I'm oh so glad we met the second time around. So very glad we met the second time around. Or the third or the fourth. Thank
I was going to
you.
ask, are there, well, first of all, yay, Rob Stribble, yay.
Yay!
I was going to ask, are there any songs for the fourth time around?
Yeah, there is.
Hey,
The
fourth and fifth times around.
My Foolish Heart.
Oh, that's great. That's a great song. That's a great song.
I know I have a great song about Elizabeth Taylor.
Ooh.
She was married a lot. I
Yeah.
love you, Elizabeth Taylor, Hilton, Whiting, Todd, Fisher, Britton, Warner, Fertinsky, and then the whole song is about. Well, let's give you a round of applause, which we did, but we'll do another, and let's put the spotlight on our friend
Uh,
Larry Davis.
well, I wasn't planning on singing,
I
but
know, but there's only three of us, and you're
uh,
just going to stand out like a sore thumb if you don't. Everybody's doing it, Larry. Everybody's
I
doing
got
it.
sore thumb. Yeah.
Let me take this
Okay, let's see. I
off the top
grabbed
here. Ain't that a kick in the head?
a blues number. Hmm. How about please send me someone to love? That kind of goes along with my greeting card this year for the holidays. If you notice, it was
Before I forget,
I wanted to ask Larry.
I
I'm sorry.
want I wanted to invite Larry to my birthday party. Uh,
Well, we're on Facebook, so don't let anybody know where it is because it might be a big
yeah,
secret.
I'm going to send you a text with the
oh,
address and the date and the time. I'm going to be 75.
all right. Hey,
Tuesday night, but I'll send it to you.
okay.
So, Larry, before I
Uh,
forget, how's your guy? How
oh,
is your guy?
Health-wise.
Your
I
guy.
got.
Yeah.
He's been in and out of the hospital 3 times in this past week. Um, he's okay, but uh, I can't get all the information from the family. They're not going to tell me everything, so I just have to try to get along.
Well, I'm thinking about you and your guy, and I know you stay strong and sing
Thank
a
you.
song.
Okay, well, I just have this blues thing set up here, but it talks about love in the world, and okay, we'll just do it. And that's Karen Hernandez on piano.
She's the best.
Heaven, please send to all mankind some understanding and peace of mind. And if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Someone to love. And show this world how to get along. Peace will enter when all the hate is gone. And if it ain't asking too much, please send me someone to love. You see, I lay awake night and I ponder this world and all its troubles. And the answer's always the same, that if man can't put an end to this damnable sin, hate is gonna put the world in flame. Now just because I'm in misery, I ain't begging for sympathy. But if it ain't asking too much, Please send me someone to love. Karen's playing the piano and overdubbing with the organ. He's good at the blues. You see, I lay awake nights and I ponder this world and all its trouble. Come up with the same old answer. It's the same. That if man can't put an end to all this damnable sin, hate is gonna put this world in flames. Now ain't that a shame? Now just because I'm in misery, I ain't begging for sympathy. But hey, if it ain't asking too much, send me something and someone to love. If it ain't asking too much, please send me someone to love. I really need me somebody. Can you help me out? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Larry Davis, that was wow, boy, just pulled. You say like you don't have anything ready, and that's just great. When are you doing another concert, Larry?
I don't know. I'm too busy trying
Living
to
life to its fullest.
Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get there.
Oh,
this is so much fun, Trip. I just knew there was going to be a lot more people here. And,
well, I'm glad you came, and I was thinking about you. That's why I sent out the emails. You know, a lot of times I just do things on Facebook, but both you and Rob, who are loyal, dependable, and good, true friends, are not on Facebook. So I have to remember to. But we're definitely going to do something next week. I don't know what.
Okay.
Today I wanted to go to the Lyric Hyperion, so I wanted to push back our start time to 8 o'clock, which I might do again. I don't know. I think people need to see me live. You know.
That's good.
Well, because you know, I feel like my reputation is suffering, and I thought taking the high road and being quiet would be beneficial. Anyway, I have a perfect song for people that drive me crazy, so I thought we would end with that, and then it's going to be that one, yeah. So I thought we would end with that, unless you want to sing another song, anybody? All right, so let's do.
Thank you.
This is with no rehearsal, but we'll see if I can make it work. Because people do, they will drive you.
I was going to sing another song.
Oh, okay. So,
I am ready to be married. Right.
Oh, God.
hold on. No. Because let's put the spotlight on Rob. There you go. Hello. Sing another song, Rob. I dare you. I double dare you. I double dog dare you.
Yes, here we go. Fairy tale. You gotta, yeah. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart, like Larry. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible dreams. You can laugh when the dreams fall apart at the seams, and life gets so exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. Break. Da 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 da. To be young at heart. Da 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 da. To be young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible dreams. You can laugh at your dreams when they fall apart at the seams, and life gets so exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You had a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
Hugging you. That was wonderful.
That was wonderful. That's exactly the.
Sinatra would be proud. Sinatra would be very proud.
Did he make it to 75? I think he lived to 80.
Oh, oops.
I don't know.
There.
All right, there, Griff.
All right, so we're gonna say
Tell
goodnight.
your lady hello for me.
So we'll go out with this song, and we'll see you next week. But don't let those crazy people drive you crazy, because that's what they do. They will drive you crazy.
Don't let the dogs drive your.
Right.
They will.
Then why aren't you?
Drive you crazy.
Right.
Right.
But I'm kind of crazy too.
You could drive a person crazy. You could drive a person mad. First you make a person feel all hazy, so a person could be had.
Then you leave a person
Dangling sadly outside your door, which only makes a person gladly want you even more. I could understand a person if he wasn't good in bed. I could understand a person if he happened to be gay. Exclusive you.
a person not.
Titillates a person and leaves him flat. He's crazy. He's a crazy person. He's a truly crazy person himself, that motherfucking bastard. You know who I mean. He is personable. He shouldn't want to sit lump harder than a matador coercing a bull to try to get him off of his rump. Everything a person could wish of turning on the actors at person. Nah, I'm done it. Knock, knock, is anybody there? Knock, knock, it really isn't there. Knock, knock, I'm working on my job. Knock, knock, a zombie's in my arms. Oh, that sweet affection, what is wrong? Where's the loose connection? How long, how long, how long? Bobby, baby, Bobby, 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 baby. You guys just been buggy. You can drive a person. First to make a person feel all huggy.
Why you make her feel a fool?
When the person says that you upset her. Oh, that's when you are good.
You impersonate a
Person better than a zombie should. I could understand a person if he wasn't good in bed, because they're not always. I could understand a person if he happened to be dead. Exclusive you, elusive you. Will anybody ever get the juice on you? You're crazy. You're a deep person. You're truly, deeply well-adjusted, never to be trusted, crazy person himself.
It's my hobby and I'm giving it up.
I thought it was a karaoke version. Good night, everybody. Who cares? They will drive you crazy. Do not let them let you dangle outside their door because they think that will just make you want them more. Well, it won't. So good night.
That was wonderful, Trip. That was wonderful.